Welcome back to LDB Games. I'm Lord Darthbawlz, and in this video, I'm going through, in my opinion, what is the best dwarf in this game. And that is none other than a previous fusion GNUT, or Newt, or I think it's Nut. The Great Nut is really, I think, what his name should be, because this dwarf is insane, and I, for one, waited way too long to build this guy. I'm admitting that right now, because I've had a ton of fun playing around with him. He pretty much comes into almost every area of the game. His skill set is just all around incredible. So his A1 is a triple hitter, which is awesome, right? Each hit has an 80% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. So 100% chance when booked, 15% per hit. That right there is 45% turn meter, you know, if you don't get the 3% resist. And if the target's turn meter is not decreased, each hit has an 80% chance placing freeze. Now, I haven't built a team yet, but this is perfect for Fire Knight Hard. His A2 is an AoE, has a books to a 100% chance of placing a decreased attack on a 3-turn cooldown, which is awesome, and a 25% weaken, which just comes in nice and handy, right? Weaken just increases your damage. It also places a counterattack on him for 2 turns, which is kind of cool because then he can use his A1 in response and decrease turn meter or freeze and control. And then his A3 is really the crown jewel of his kit. It's another triple hitter. Each hit decreasing the target's defense by 3%, stacking up to 30. And each hit also heals him by 30% of the damage dealt. So he's doing damage based on max HP, right? And he's healing himself by the damage, which means he can just keep himself alive like you wouldn't even believe. And then this is such a cool passive because if you didn't know, right, when any of your champions counterattack, it reduces the damage they do overall. Not with the Great Nut, right? When counterattacking, he deals 100% of damage instead of what it normally is at 75. He comes with a dungeon accuracy aura 2, which, you know, take it or leave it. It helps you kind of tweak your builds a little bit if you wanted to. So how do I have him built? So I've built him a couple different ways. I first built him in Savage, because I just love Savage on damage dealers. And then I tried to kind of max his crit damage and defense a little bit. I took him out of Savage. I may actually put him back into Savage because I think he does, you know, so, all right, what he's got right now, right? He's got 5,100 defense. He's running 190 speed. Got him crit capped, right? 249% crit damage, and I've got him just over 300 accuracy. In Savage, I only had him at like 210 crit damage with about 5,100 defense. And he still did a little bit more damage. But I just haven't put him back yet. I've been playing around with him, and I may put him back, I may not. I may reserve my Savage for PvP champs. Yeah, I still haven't decided yet. But his accuracy is super important for the turn meter on his A1 and the decreased attack and weaken on his A2 if that's something that you want to do. His Masteries, I'm still, apparently I'm missing one. We'll figure it out as I go. So let me move myself. We'll go down, we'll go down the offense tree first, and then I'll come back and I'll move myself back for the support tree. So obviously we got crit rate, we got crit damage. I took Heart of Glory because if he's healing on his A3, even if he's not full health when he starts his attack, he'll probably get full health and then increase his damage for the remaining hits. Right? Increases damage inflicted to targets with less than 40%. His hit is so strong that by the 3rd hit, the enemy has less than 40% HP. So this helps him increase his damage through his A3, which is awesome. I took Life Drinker as well because I haven't done it yet, and maybe I'll do it before I release the video, but I want to bring him into a Hydra team. And this can help him kind of top up his health on top of his A3's natural healing. Took Cycle of Violence too. His damage is so much. This actually has a pretty good chance of working even against bosses because it's inflicted by a skill, not a hit. Think about that. His A3 does 3 enemy max HP hits. but the damage that skill does is what determines whether this procs, which is pretty insane. Increases damage inflicted when attacking targets with higher max HP. This is a no-brainer when you're facing bosses because they will always have higher max HP. I took Kill Streak for, every time he kills somebody, it increases his damage. In the runs that I'm going to be showcasing today, he doesn't really kill anyone, so it doesn't really come into play, but I wanted Giant Slayer. Now, Giant Slayer is really, really good for champions with triple hitters. Because it's a 30% chance of bonus damage, and that bonus damage is equal to the 7.5% of the target's max HP, or 3% of the boss's max HP, which is pretty insane. Now, it can occur on each hit of a skill, which means with a triple hitter, every hit gets 30% chance of doing an extra 3% of the target's max HP in damage, which is pretty insane. And since I have one more, I think I'm going to take Methodical, just because it is damage over time, right? I could take Stoked Fury, which is kind of cool. It increases based on debuffs, but I think I would rather take Methodical. And that's something that I may come in and change in the future. I didn't really have a preference either way, which is why I hadn't actually chosen it yet. And then I decided to go down the support tree. Mainly for the stats, right? I wanted to focus on defense and crit damage in his build. So I took the flat 10 accuracy, the accuracy when he has no skills on cooldown is A1, right? The accuracy for each enemy alive. Now this nets you, even without this one, it nets you about 30 accuracy, which is kind of cool. I took Lore of Steel to increase any bonuses he gets from his kit, because I took him out of Savage, right? So I think he has some broken sets. I'll go through the gear in a second. And then I took Master Hexer. I just didn't really want to rework the tree to go to the left side to try to get... oh, no, I didn't want Lasting Gifts. It was either Cycle of Magic or Lore of Steel, but I took Lore of Steel for the extra stats and to get Master Hexer so that when he does use his A2, it can just keep a decreased attack or a weaken up for longer. And those are two very good debuffs. Decreased attack is one of the best for damage mitigation, and weaken is just a flat increase in damage. So you really can't go wrong extending those debuffs. In terms of his artifacts, wow, they are all broken sets. So Lore of Steel isn't doing anything for me. That's kind of funny. Maybe I'll try to rework him so that he could actually get something from Lore of Steel, or I might rework his kit. But honestly, the support tree was chosen specifically for the accuracy. I could have chosen the defense tree for some extra kind of damage mitigation, but I wanted to really pump crit damage and defense in his kit. So you can see what I'm using here. And I've glyphed most of these already. 23% defense on that. That's pretty insane. And then I've got a 21% defense on this. I would love it if this was 6-star, but beggars can't be choosers because that's 26% defense, which is pretty insane. So that's how I got to his 51k, 5.1k defense, 190 speed, 249 crit damage, and 313 accuracy. Now, in terms of the blessing, I took Cruelty because his A3 does decrease the enemy's defense, so it can compound, right? I kind of want to change it to Phantom Touch. I haven't seen this do very much, especially because it's only 1%, right? Which means he's only getting 4% per hit on this. So you know what? Before we run these, I'm gonna pick Phantom Touch, and we'll see if it's better than my testing with him. All right, so first we're gonna take him in a dragon. You can see the team I've got here. I'm actually going to show you the presets first. Right, so it is Dark Kael, Renegade, GNUT, Seer, and Lydia in here. Lydia doesn't have any modifications. Seer, I only want her using her Karma Burn once in round 1, just in case she doesn't wipe it. Every now and then it happens, and I don't want her using her A2 in round 2. GNUT comes in. I don't want him doing anything but his A1 until the boss. And then I have him open with his A1 right now because in the most optimal wave clear, Lydia doesn't have her A2 ready at the boss. She's got one more turn left on a cooldown, and I do want the decreased defense out before he uses his A3. Renegade are a resetter in here. Not using sacrificial ritual on the first one, using it immediately on the second one, and nothing in the third change there. Dark Kyle comes in round 1. I've got nothing. Round 2, I don't want him using his A2 or his A3 because in round 3, he can actually, you know what, I'm going to do that for round 1 too, just in case. You know, there's always a 3% chance of one of the debuffs not landing, which means, you know, Seer won't wipe the wave. But then I want him opening with his A3 in against the boss so we can get the poisons and the poison sensitivity out immediately. By the time he comes back around, he's got his debuff extender for whatever's on there, which is pretty cool. Now, bear in mind, right, Dragon is magic affinity and Nut is spirit. So Nut is the weak affinity in this team. So we'll see what happens. Lydia comes in with her A2, right? And there is the wipe from Seer. Beautiful first wave in 7 seconds. Reset. We've got the beautiful. All right, to the boss in 13. This is a perfect setup so far. Hopefully it continues on in RNG with the boss. So we get weaken out. We get the poisons out. There's Nut's A1. Couple single weak hit right there. We got the A2 from Lydia. Beautiful. Decreased defense is up. We're about to get our A3 from Nut. Let's go. No weak hits, baby. No whammies. Okay, there's Karma Burn, right? There's the increased buff duration. Okay, 1 weak hit. But you can see those were about 560,000 damage hits. So if he didn't weak hit on that first one, the dragon would have been down. But you can see that's a 49-second run there. Not my fastest. Obviously, Seer's taking the cake against, you know, her damage against the waves is key right there. But not coming in with 1.4 million damage, which is pretty insane. So, oh, hey, that's my best turn count team. That's pretty cool. It's only, you know, 16 seconds slower than my fastest, but that is the most optimal in terms of turn count. That's pretty legit. So let's take him into Fire Knight next, right? I had a lot of fun with Fire Knight because, you know, it's funny. Allure is one of the best Fire Knight champions in this game, but Nut's A1 kind of compares, which allows me to replace Allure with Nut and get a second enemy max HP champion. So my old team had Allure instead of Nut, and I kept Coldheart in here, which is pretty sweet. Now, there's a weird thing with the RNG on this one. So I'll show you the presets. So Coldheart, I don't want her doing anything until the boss. And I do have it preset to open with her A1. I don't think I need to now. In my other team, I did, because there was a weird kind of RNG factor that came into play. I may not need it, but I keep it anyway just to be safe. We've got Seer only using Karma Burn Wave 1, not using A2 Wave 3, not using A2 Wave 3 either, against the boss either, because I don't want, you know, I just want her to use Karma Burn as much as possible. Lydia coming in, I've got single use of Siren's Wail on both round 1 and 2, and then I have her opening with her A3 for the double hitter against the Fire Knight's shield. Renegade coming in, same presets as the dragon, basically, so that she resets on round 2. I have her opening with her A2 against the boss because it is a triple hit to help get that shield down. And then with Nut, just like Coldheart, I don't want him doing anything but A1s until we get to the boss. And I want him opening with his A1. And this is, you'll see because of the shield count, hopefully RNG works in my favor on this test. I need Lydia's, same thing with the dragon, I need Lydia's decreased defense and weaken out before Blessed Bash for the most optimal amount of damage. Yeah, whatever about the no aura thing. I may move it so Nut is in the lead, but those presets, you can't just like drag champions around. You gotta remove, and then it's just so annoying. Plarium, please change that so you can just drag champions through. Oh, extra turn. Boom. Clear. Nice. To the boss in 15 seconds. RNG is on my side right now. This is beautiful. Hopefully it stays. So triple hitter, double hitter, right? Single hitter. And then Coldheart's quad hit comes in. Then we've got Nut for reducing the turn meter. Look at that beautiful turn meter reduction. So now Lydia should come in with her A2 right. Oh no! Because the waves went so fast, Lydia is not going to have her A2 out for both the Heartseeker, which still does a decent amount of damage, and Blessed Bash, which also does, you know, a couple 100,000 per hit. That was with no decreased defense or weaken out, which is pretty insane if you ask me. So this isn't going to be a super fast run, but you can see kind of the capability here. It's, you know, all in all, this really just allowed me to add another damage dealer in place of a utility champion, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, you can see Nut here doesn't do, you know, he didn't do as much damage because of decreased defense and weaken not being out, but I'll move myself out of the way real quick. He did more than Cold Heart. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. To put it in perspective between the two. Let's run it again. Let's see what happens. Because, you know, Seer got her extra turn on wave 2, which was, you know, a cool, which is good, right? Because then it gets to the boss faster, but it actually modifies the optimize. Man, it's going to do it again. She didn't get her. I think she had a refresh accessory proc. Okay, A1. Yeah, A1, let's get the turn meter down. Okay, does Lydia have her A2? I don't think she does. It doesn't. No. All right, let's. I'll let her run, and I'll try it again. Oh man, that's frustrating. Sometimes RNG is just too good. Now, in theory, right, I could use Cold Heart. I could put Cold Heart's A2 and Nut's A2 on priority 1. But then if that RNG doesn't proc, it doesn't actually save me. It doesn't work. It's like there's two different kind of plays for this. All right, here we go. Let's see if this works this time. Okay, wave 1 down. Beautiful. Reset. A2. Does she? Okay, good. No, actually, good. I'm saying good for bad RNG. How about that, huh? So then we should have Karma Burn come through. Beautiful. Now that means that Lydia's going to have her A2 ready. Okay, here we go. We're going to get to see Nut in full action here. All right, down to 4. So Cold Heart's A1 comes in. So yeah, I don't need the preset on Cold Heart for the A1 opener. Right, there's the decreased turn meter from Nut, which is pretty insane. We've got our A2 from Lydia. Beautiful. Ooh, Seer is going to do a... Oh, I thought that was going to be a Karma Burn. Heartseeker, pop, and Nut should come in with his Blessed Bash. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, didn't even need the third hit. Didn't even need the third hit. And check this out. So they did the same amount of damage. 932... 931, and that was only 2 of Nut's 3 hits. This dude is insane. I swear to God, I absolutely love this champion. And then the last place that I want to show him is in the Spider Zone, and maybe I'll try to put together a Hydra team for a future video to showcase him. But I really just wanted to show the main dungeons out now. Funny thing, actually, do I still have it? No, I removed it. So there's an advanced quest to beat the Spider's Den with just dwarves. So what I did is actually kind of fun. I took my second Trunda, who I don't really use very much, and I put accuracy on her, which you don't normally do. But I wonder if he's going to be strong enough to do it on... let's see what happens. This is a really cool team because it is all dwarfs. I'd have to do presets, and I don't want to delete a thing right now. So what's his name? Ragnar comes in with a decreased defense and a weaken, okay, which gets us ready. Trunda comes in with some HP burns, right? Some stuns and some HP burns. We've got Blessed Bash come in, pop, pop, pop. and the spider's almost dead. 1.6 million per hit. And we are down. And that is 8 turns. How is that 8 turns? Did I count wrong? Or was that 3? It should be 3 turns, not 8. We've got Ragnar. There's 1. Let's count together, right? What is this, kindergarten? Ragnar, Tranda, and GNUT. 1.6, 1.5, 1.7, 1.6, done. Where's the turns coming from? I don't understand. The best here that is from GNUT. I think it's the spiders and their kind of silly little play. But yeah, so there's the 10th run that I did. But one, my typical team that I use, because the HP burns slow it down. Where is it? Here we go. I have it loaded up just in case something goes wrong. Do I want to modify that? I don't think so. Let's just play it. See what happens. So we've got Lydia coming in first with the decreased defense and weekend. That was Ragnar before, right? And then who's fastest? Cold Heart. Oh man, no! I gotta take someone out. Hold on a second. Let's redo. Let's go to this team here because it's a 3-turn. It's a 3-turn completion. Let's take out these 2 and just rock that because I love Septimus. I know he's with all the enemy max HP caps on all the bosses, like he's not really the greatest anymore, but like I just love Septimus. I mean, there's a 2.4 million hit, and then boom, boom, boom. Did he even need the 3rd one? Look at that. 10 seconds, 3 turns, 3 champions in Spider 20. Insane. I love this champion. He is now coming into all of my teams. So I've been running Dragon in an attempt to get GNUT to not weak hit on his A3. Man, the RNG is just not working for me. However, I did get another best in terms of turn count because, what was it? Brimstone was put out by Lydia. And so whatever damage GNUT did do from his weak hit, Brimstone finished, and I cut the turn count down by 1. I have a feeling at some point in the future, I will be able to do this in 25 turns. However, maybe I try GNUT in Affinity Breaker. Not that really increases the chances that much more. But that's what I got. This video is getting to be a little long because I'm just having fun playing with this champion. I didn't do Ice Golem because frankly I don't like Ice Golem. That's just me. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do a Hydra video in the future because Hydra takes quite a bit of time to do, and I think that will merit its own video. But GNUT is an incredible champion, and I'm sure he can come into every Doom Tower boss at this point, or almost every, because he just, if you're using Royal Guard, if you're using Cold Heart, if you're using Septimus, he comes in, and his triple hitter does more than those 3 champions can do on their single hit. But that's what I got. Not the great GNUT, in my opinion, is what his name should be. Anywhere else you all use them, if there's something you do differently with them, let me know down in the comments. And if you made it this far, I appreciate the view. Every view counts, as I am still trying to get back into the swing of YouTube and get back on the algorithm map. So I invite you to like and subscribe to my channel, to put this video out to other people so they can see how awesome this champion is, and maybe get some help building him when they are getting ready to take him out for a spin. I'm Lord Darthbawlz. I'll catch you on the next video. Enjoy your raid.